Hey guys, welcome to Twin Flame Truth TV. I'm Elle Hari, Twin Flame Alchemist, writer, teacher, and coach. And in today's episode, I'm going to revisit marriage, monogamy, and boundaries regarding twin flames. There seems to be, and I apologize if I wasn't clear to begin with, but there's still a lot of questions regarding the monogamy issue that I'm receiving from people. And they tend to surround the issue of marriage and monogamy with twin flames and boundaries and monogamy with twin flames. So I decided to combine all of that into this one episode. So, for example, questions I get are, well, if you marry your twin flame, then could you not be monogamous in your marriage? Does it mean it's an open marriage? Like, how does that work? Or a question about boundaries and monogamy and twin flames I get often is like, well, isn't loving yourself setting a boundary that you, in your twin flame, that you want to be monogamous, if that's what you want and desire? So, these questions are all stemming from me probably not being very clear about the monogamy issue regarding twin flames. And I apologize for that, so I'm going to try to clarify that even further. So monogamy is a made-up concept regarding humans anyway, for the human race and species in the mind. It was a concept contrived by churches initially to control and oppress women. I'm not doing this for like women's lib or anything. I'm just saying that's the case, the fact of history, okay? That's how monogamy came about, a way to actually oppress and control. How do I know this? Because humans are not a naturally biologically monogamous species. Very few are. And you can probably prove this to yourself. You do not mate for life. The majority of humans, I'm sure most of them, have like more than one mate they've ever had in their whole, by the time their lifetime ends, right? So humans are not monogamous by nature. Monogamy has been something that has been created to be placed on women, basically, because yes, it's for both people in the marriage traditionally, but if you look back through even religious texts and stuff and old school laws and fundamentalist societies even now, God forbid women commit adultery, they're like stoned to death or something. Men, they can have harems, right? And so trust me, it has been put in place to oppress. So it's a made up concept in the mind. Anything made up in the mind comes from a space of fear. Monogamy obviously comes from a space of fear, not love. Why? Because love is abundant. Love doesn't fear losing anyone or having to hold on and grab onto something for fear of losing it, or restricting someone or something that you love from doing what it wants, right? That's not love. Love is not monogamy. Monogamy comes from fear. Monogamy comes from a space of lack and scarcity. That's fear. It's a lack, it's a fear that, if someone is, not true to me and doesn't only be with me and is with someone else, then I'm going to lose that love, right? That's a fear of lack and of scarcity. And that's really what monogamy is. Of course, it was created also and used as a tool to oppress women, but like I already discussed. Anyway, monogamy, fear, not love, right? So that's that. Now that is the concept of monogamy in our minds. Regarding twin flames, so what I mean when I say, monogamy, you don't, when you're in meh and you are in a physical relationship with your twin flame finally after being balanced, you don't say you're monogamous and all of that. This is where I think my confusion came from. You don't say it, you don't think it. It's not a thing that, you need a concept or restriction or condition you need to put on your relationship, right? Because why? Because when you are balanced and in meh, it happens naturally. It's not intended in your mind because that would be from a fear-based perspective and that would be feeding your push energy. It naturally happens when you are with your twin flame and balanced enough to do that, your twin flame's not going to be able to go anywhere. That's just by virtue of the energy. As soon as you like put a restriction on them, oh, you know, we're monogamous, and you label it and everything, then guess where they're going? Somewhere else. That's part of the paradox, okay? Because that's introducing fear into it. When you don't have fear into it, it happens naturally, right? So yes, you can marry your twin flame should you choose to do so. And yes, marriage in the vows or whatever, you know, we'll say forsaking all others or whatever it says, and has an implication of monogamy, and that's great, and that's fine. But you are not sitting there intentionally with your fear-based energy saying to your twin flame, hey, you know, you can't be with anyone else. You're only with me, right? I mean, maybe that's the tenets of your marriage or whatever, and that's great, but that's not you pushing your fear-based energy out onto your twin flame. That's not your intention. Remember, you and your twin flame are already the only two people that are married to each other. Anyone in the whole world, only twin flames are married to each other really in divine sacred union. That's it. Nothing can tear that apart. Nothing can sever that. Other marriages, other people, I mean, that's all just for the physical world, paper, you know, designation of being married, right? That's not actual marriage. Marriage is being the same one, right? And that's you and your twin flame. So that's what I mean by monogamy. And I'm sorry if that wasn't clear before. There is naturally monogamy with twin flames, and only twin flames. Because remember, humans are not a monogamous species, but we're not dealing with twin flames. You can't be with your twin flame on a human fear-based level. When you're in meh, you are love. You are love. You are your soul. And so monogamy occurs naturally because you are one. But that's why with twin flames, it's the only two people that monogamy can actually occur with, right? But it can't come from the mind. You can't intend it with your mind, because that'd be pushing your fear-based energy where? Onto your twin flame. And then where does your twin flame go? Pulls away, right? So it's just a matter still of trusting and believing in your soul, in the love, in the whole process, that, you know, you are one, that no one can change that. Not anything you contrive in your mind, no concept of monogamy, no, not even a paper of marriage that says marriage. No piece of paper can change that. Nothing can change that. You cannot ever be separated. And so naturally, if you are in meh and you are in a physical relationship with your twin flame in the state of meh, which is the only way you can be, then naturally monogamy occurs. And quite frankly, it's the only physical relationship where monogamy can naturally occur. Because it's not a physical relationship. It's not about a physical relationship. You are the same soul. It's a reunion of the soul, right? So that's the marriage and monogamy part. Now the same thing kind of goes with boundaries, right? Well, okay, so here's the thing. You say your boundary is, well, I don't want my twin flame cheating on me. I don't want him to be with anyone else. Well, guess what? Your twin flame's not going to be there if you're in that space, because that's not meh, right? Like I just described. But also, fair enough, if you don't want anyone else in the world that you're in a relationship with to cheat on you, that's great. Set that boundary and go for it. Twin flame, no. The boundary doesn't exist. You can't set the boundary and then also be with your twin flame. That won't happen, because that boundary setting for that is not loving yourself. Monogamy is not your true desire. When you're with your twin flame and you align closer to your soul and enough, you shift closer into line with your soul in order to magnetize your twin flame in, you are going to also become so conscious and aware of your true soul's desires. Your true soul's desire is not, it doesn't even know about monogamy. There is no fear there that there won't be monogamy, right? So there's no need to set a boundary to honor that desire. We set boundaries to honor our true desires, right? At least regarding our twin flame. It has to be the truth. So that's loving ourselves. And when you love yourself, you're not going to set a boundary based on fear, because that's not truly what your soul even knows about. Your soul is love. It doesn't know anything other than monogamy with the twin flame. That's all it knows, right? So you don't need to set a boundary with your twin flame about monogamy. And doing so, I mean, means you won't even be able to have a physical relating experience with your twin flame for good. So I hope that clears up the whole monogamy, marriage, boundary thing. It really is all the connected thing. There is the monogamy issue that I'm sorry if I wasn't clear enough in previous posts and videos about that. It's just monogamy is a concept in the mind. The actual being only with each other and one with each other and, you know, not physically being with anyone else is naturally occurs. It's not in the mind. It just naturally occurs through the meh when you balance and you align closer to your soul and you choose to have a physical relating experience with your twin flame. So I really hope that clears it up. If you have any more questions, feel free to hit me up and I'll answer them in a question of the week, or might combine them like now in another episode of Twin Flame Truth TV. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week in another episode of Twin Flame Truth TV. Lots of love.